So welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors4ias in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and NammaKPSC. So this is an initiative of NammaKPSC to help students to prepare and study from home with the help of YouTube videos, current affairs available on the website, PDF materials for every subject, and online tests to track your preparation. So do remember to visit nammakpsc.com for more information. So in this particular session as well, we will be continuing with our discussion when it comes to both science streams, meaning we will continue to solve more problems on both science streams. So in this particular session, I will take up few other types of problems that we have when it comes to both science streams, and of course data sufficiency when it comes to both science streams, so that with this particular session we should be able to complete our understanding of both science streams, so that everybody who has gone through these three videos should be comfortable when it comes to solving any kind of problem under both and streams. So all of these things, both science streams, your problems on trains, they're all related to nothing but time, speed and distance. Meaning if time, speed and distance is, meaning if you're strong in time, speed and distance, problems on trains and problems on both science streams should also be easy for you. It should not be a challenge. So let us start with our first problem. Now the first problem says a boat covers a certain distance downstream in 1 hour, while it comes back in 1.5 hours. If the speed of the stream is 3 kilometers per hour, what is the speed in still water? Meaning the question is saying the speed of the stream is 3 kilometers per hour and we have to find out the speed of the boat. Now the question also says that the boat covers a certain distance downstream. Say let us assume that the distance is d. Okay, so let the distance be d kilometers. Let the distance be d kilometers. Okay, so the boat covers this d distance downstream in 1 hour, while it comes back in 1.5 hours. If the speed of the stream be 3 kilometers per hour, what is the speed of the boat in still water? Now consider downstream. Now the question is saying that in 1 hour the boat will cover the distance d. The boat will cover distance d at speed what? That is your downstream speed. So for the first case, can I say t1 is equal to d by d, capital D, where t1 is what? Nothing but the time taken to cover distance d at this downstream speed. So can I write 1 hour is equal to distance d divided by what is downstream speed? Nothing but b plus s, where s is nothing but 3 kilometers per hour. So I will write 1 is equal to b plus 3, or I take this to the left hand side, I have b plus 3 is equal to d. Similarly, the second case over here, let me take the time to be time t2. So in 1.5 hours it is able to come back, meaning what? Now this is in the reverse direction, this is upstream, therefore time t2 is the time taken to travel the distance d upstream. So therefore we have upstream speed, meaning what? t2 is 1.5, this is equal to d divided by what is u, upstream speed, nothing but the difference between speed of the boat and speed of the stream. Therefore 1.5 is equal to b minus s, or I can say this is nothing but 1.5b minus, what is s? S is nothing but 3. 3 into 1.5, 15 3s are 45. I have 4.5 is equal to D. Is equal to D. Now I have D is equal to B plus 3. Also, D is equal to 1.5B minus 4.5. What does this mean? B plus 3 is equal to 1.5B minus 4.5. I'm getting this from these two equations. So I'll take B to the right hand side and 4.5 to the other side. So what do we have? Left hand side 3 minus becomes plus, that is 4.5 is equal to 1.5B minus B, or 7.5 is equal to 0.5B, meaning B is nothing but 75 by 5, which is equal to 15. Therefore, speed of the boat is what? It is 15 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the correct option is option C, 15 kilometers per hour. It is 15 kilometers per hour. So we'll move on to the next question now. Question number 2. Now, question number 2 says a boat can travel with a speed of 13 kilometers per hour in still water, meaning B is equal to 13 kilometers per hour. If the speed of the stream is 4 kilometers per hour, so S is equal to 4 kilometers per hour. Find the time taken by the boat to go 68 kilometers downstream. Now this question is obviously very simple. Now this being our third session on boats and streams, this is pretty straightforward. Everybody should be able to solve this particular question. So that now the problem is asking us to find the time taken by the boat to travel 68 kilometers downstream, where time is nothing but distance by speed. Speed is what? Downstream speed. Therefore, the time required is nothing but the distance, which is equal to 68 kilometers divided by B plus S. Distance is nothing but B plus S, which is 13 plus 14, which is equal to 17. So we have time equal to 68 by 17. Now 17 fours are, see obviously even if you don't know the 17 tables, you know 7 fours are 28. So check for 17 times 4. 4 sevens are 28, 4 on the 4, 6. Here 17 fours are 68, therefore 4 times. Meaning what? Time is equal to 4 hours. Therefore, the boat is able to travel 68 kilometers downstream in 4 hours. Therefore, the correct option for question number 2 is option C. It is 4 hours. So now let us move on to the next question. Question number 3. Now, question number 3 says a man can row 18 kilometers per hour in still water, meaning B is equal to 18 kilometers per hour. It takes him thrice as long to row up as to row down the river. Now, this particular type of problem, we have done it in the previous session. So by now you know that whenever we get this kind of a problem where the question says that it takes him twice as long, 4 times as long, 6 times as long, or thrice as long to row up as to row down the speed, then what do? We will take the upstream speed. We will take the upstream speed to be u. If the upstream speed is u, then we will take the downstream speed to be 3u. So you already know this. I've explained this particular concept in the previous session as to how we get downstream speed as 3u. It is because it takes him thrice as long. That is why I'm taking it as 3u. The explanation is there in the previous video. So D is equal to 3u. Also, we know B, that is speed of the boat, is nothing but half the sum of the downstream speed plus the upstream speed, where downstream speed is what? Nothing but 3u. So what do we get? Half into 3u plus u. B is what? 18 kilometers per hour. B is 18 kilometers per hour. I'm substituting B as 18 kilometers per hour. So what do we get here? 18 is equal to half into 3u plus u is 4u. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Therefore, upstream speed is nothing but 18 kilometers per hour. What is the question asking for? The question is asking for sorry, my mistake here. 2 gets cancelled. I have 2 here. This and this gets cancelled. It is 9 kilometers per hour. Sorry, it is 9 kilometers per hour. The upstream speed is 9 kilometers per hour, not 18 kilometers per hour. Okay. So you've now identified the upstream speed. But what is the question asking for? The question is asking for only speed of the stream, and we know that upstream speed is nothing but the difference between speed of the boat and speed of the stream, where the upstream speed is 9, speed of the boat is 18, and we have to find out S. So we take S to the, that is speed of the stream, to the left hand side and 9 to the right hand side. What do we get here now? We get S is equal to 18 minus 9, which is nothing but 9 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the correct answer is 9 kilometers per hour. It is option A. The correct option is option A, 9 kilometers per hour. So now let's move on to the next question, that is question number 4. What does question number 4 say? Question number 4 says, in a stream running at 2 kilometers per hour, a motorboat goes 6 kilometers upstream and back again to the starting point in 33 minutes. Find the speed of the boat in still water. So the speed of the stream is what? It is 2 kilometers per hour. Speed of the boat we have to find out. Now the question is saying a motorboat goes 6 kilometers upstream. Say for example we are going from A to B. We are going from A to B. Okay, so we are going from A to B. Now the distance is equal to 6 kilometers. Okay, so a motorboat takes 33 minutes. It takes 33 minutes to go downstream from A to B, and to return from B to A, it takes 33 minutes. So the total time taken, the total time taken to travel from A to B and to return to A from B, that is onward journey and return journey, is 33 minutes, or I can say it is 33 by 60 hours. 33 by 60 hours. Now if you consider the downstream speed, the time taken to travel downstream, the time taken to travel downstream, let me write it as TD, that is to go from A to B. See, what is time? Time is nothing but distance by speed. Correct? Time is nothing but distance by speed. So what is the time taken to go from A to B? It is nothing but distance by speed, where distance is what? It is 6 kilometers. And what is the speed? Speed is nothing but your downstream speed, where downstream speed is what? Nothing but B plus S. Therefore, the time taken to travel downstream is nothing but 6 divided by B plus S, where S is equal to 2 kilometers per hour. Similarly, the time taken to travel upstream. What is the time taken to travel upstream? The time taken to travel upstream is nothing but once again distance by speed, where the distance traveled is 6 kilometers. At what speed? It is upstream speed. What is the upstream speed? Upstream speed is nothing but difference between the speed of the boat and speed of the stream, where S is once again nothing but 2 kilometers per hour. So now what I am saying is that the total time taken to travel from A to B and from B to A is nothing but the total time is nothing but the time taken to travel downstream plus the time taken to travel upstream. Total time is nothing but time taken to travel downstream and time taken to travel upstream. So what can we say? Total time 33 by 60 is equal to time taken to travel downstream, that is 6 divided by B plus 2 plus 6 divided by B minus S, because the time taken to travel upstream is 6 divided by B minus S. So now we have to determine the value of B. Now S is what? S is nothing but 2. Now we have an equation. We have one equation with one unknown variable. Don't you think we should be able to find the value of the unknown variable? Of course, we should be able to find out the value of the unknown variable. So what I am going to do is, I am going to first reduce it. Okay, so 3 11s are, 3 2s are, and 3 2s are over here. So I'm going to write this over here. So what do we have here? We have 11 by 60 is equal to 2 divided by B plus 2 plus 2 divided by B minus 2. Okay, so now just like how you take your LCM, okay, I'm going to write it here now. We'll have 11 by 60 is equal to 2 into B minus 2 plus 2 into B plus 2 divided by B plus 2 into B minus 2. What do we get? We get 11 by 60 is equal to, I will take 2 common outside, I get B minus 2 plus B plus 2 divided by, see here, it is B plus 2 into B minus 2 is what? Nothing but A plus B into A minus B. What is A plus B into A minus B? Nothing but A square minus B square. I'm sure everybody knows this. A plus B into A minus B is equal to A square minus B square. Therefore, here we get B square minus 2 square, which is nothing but 4. B square minus 4. So now writing this over here, we get what? We get 11 by 60 is equal to 2 into this, into this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled, into 2b divided by b square minus 4, divided by b square minus 4. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just erase all this so that we have more space. Okay, so I'm going to write this over here. We have 11 by 60 is equal to 4b divided by b square minus 4. Okay, so multiplying now, what do we have? We have 11 b square minus 44 is equal to 6 4s are 24 240 b. I'm going to bring this over here. So we have 11b square minus 240b minus 44 is equal to 0. This is nothing but your quadratic equation. Now, in one of the previous videos, I have explained whenever you get quadratic equation, how do you find out the value of x or whatever it is. In this case, it is b. In this case, it is b. So what do? We always take the product of a and c, where a and c is what? 11 into 44. We'll write it in terms of its prime, in terms of its prime numbers, which is nothing but 11 into 11 into 4, which is nothing but 2 into 2, where b is what? 240. So we have to make use of 11, 11, 2 and 2 and represent it as a sum of 240. As a sum of 240. How can you do this? 11 into 11 is 121. 121 into 2. 121 into 2 is 242. So can I write 240 is equal to 242 minus 2? 242 minus 2. How did I get 242 minus 2? From 11, 11, 2 and 2. So 11, 11 is 121. 121 into 2 is 242. 242 minus this 2 will give me 240. So I am going to write 11b square as 11b square minus 242b plus 2b minus 44 is equal to 0. I'll take 11b as common outside. I have b minus, here it is 11, 11 to the 22, 22 and b minus 22, so it is plus 2 is equal to 0. So again I'll have to erase all this, just a moment. Okay. So we have 11b into b minus 22 plus 2 into b minus 22. I'll take b minus 22 common out. So we have b minus 22 into 11b plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, either b minus 22 is equal to 0 or 11b plus 2 is equal to 0. Meaning b is equal to 22 kilometers per hour or b is equal to minus 2 by 11 kilometers per hour. Speed will not be negative. Therefore, the correct answer is b is equal to 22 kilometers per hour. So, speed of the boat in still water is what? It is nothing but 22 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, 22 kilometers per hour. So I hope you've understood this question. If you've understood this, let us move on to the next question, that is question number 5. Now, question number 5 says, a man can row 40 kilometers upstream and 55 kilometers downstream in 13 hours. Also, he can row 30 kilometers upstream and 44 kilometers downstream in 10 hours. Find the speed of the man in still water. Find the speed of the man in still water. Now, see here, consider the first statement. What is the question saying? A man can row 40 kilometers upstream and 55 kilometers downstream in 13 hours. Meaning, there is your downstream speed, that is D, and there is your upstream speed, that is U. Now, he travels 40 kilometers upstream. He travels 40 kilometers upstream. He takes some amount of time to travel this 40 kilometers upstream. What is this time taken to travel 40 kilometers upstream? Time is nothing but distance by speed. It is equal to 40 divided by upstream speed. Correct? Similarly, he travels 55 kilometers downstream, where the downstream time, the time taken to travel downstream 55 kilometers is equal to what? Time is distance by speed. It is 55 kilometers divided by downstream speed. Now, we always take speed of the boat to be B and speed of the stream to be S, where downstream speed will be B plus S and upstream speed will be B minus S. Then, can I write the time taken to travel upstream as 40 by B minus S, because U is equal to B minus S. Similarly, the time taken to travel downstream is 55 divided by B plus S. Okay, this is the time taken to travel upstream, this is the time taken to travel downstream. The question is saying he will take 13 hours in total to travel 40 kilometers upstream plus 55 kilometers downstream. Meaning what? T plus U plus TD, sorry, TU plus TD is equal to 30. Meaning 40 divided by B minus S plus 55 divided by B plus S is equal to 13 hours. Similarly, if you read this next statement, it says also he can row, the same person. Okay, so the speed of the boat does not change, it is same. So the same person can row 30 kilometers upstream and 44 kilometers downstream in 10 hours. Then similarly, based on the second statement, can I write 30 divided by B minus S plus 55 divided by B plus, sorry, 30 and 44, my mistake. 44 divided by B plus S is equal to 10. Is equal to 10. So now don't you have two simultaneous equations with two unknown variables, that is B and S, where the question is only asking you to find the value of B. Okay, so whenever you read this kind of a question, I straight away want you to write 40 divided by B minus S plus 55 divided by B plus S is equal to 13, and 30 divided by B minus S plus 44 divided by B plus S is equal to 20. This is what I want you to write. So this is nothing but to explain as to how do you get to how do you get these two equations in the first place. Okay, so now I will just erase everything. Okay. Okay. Now, whenever you read such questions, what do? First, you write down the two equations. You will first write down the two equations. Okay. So the first equation is what? 40 B minus S plus 55 divided by B plus S is equal to 30. This is your first equation. What is the second equation? The second equation is 30 divided by B minus S plus 44 divided by B plus S is equal to 10. Is equal to 10 hours. This is 44. This is 44. Okay. Now you have two simultaneous equations. Now what I will do is I will subtract equation 2 from 1. I will subtract equation 2 from 1. But before doing that, I will first multiply the second equation by 4 and the first equation by 3, and only then will I multiply. So if I now multiply the second equation by 4, what do we get? We get 120. 30 into 4 is 120 divided by B minus S plus 44 into 4, 4 4 is 16, 16 1 17 divided by B plus S is equal to 40. Okay, so let me take this to be the third equation. I'm multiplying 3, so we get 3 into 40 is again 120. 3 into 40 is again 120. Okay, is again 120 divided by B minus S plus 3 into 55. 5 3 is a 15, 1 carry, 5 is a 15, 1 16. You get 165 divided by B plus S is equal to 13 3 is a 39. So let this be fourth equation. So instead of 2 minus 1, I am going to say let it be 3 minus 4. Let it be 3 minus 4. So when I subtract the fourth equation from the third equation, what do I get? minus, minus and minus. So this gets cancelled. What do we have? 176 minus 165. The denominator remains the same. So we have 1 and 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 40 minus 31 is equal to 1. Therefore, b plus s is equal to 11. B plus s is equal to 11 over here. Once we have determined b plus s is equal to 11, we will now substitute b plus s is equal to 11, b plus s as 11 in the first equation. When we substitute b plus s as 11 in the first equation, what do we get? We get 40 divided by b minus s plus 55 divided by what? B plus s, which is equal to what? 11 is equal to 30. So 40 divided by b minus s plus 11 divided by 55 is 5 is equal to 13, or 40 divided by b minus s is equal to 13 minus 5, which is equal to 8, or 40 is equal to 8 into b minus s. 8 5s are 40. Therefore, b minus s is equal to 5. B minus s is equal to 5. So what do we have? We have b plus s from here. B plus s is equal to 11 and b minus s is equal to 5. What is the question asking for? The question is asking for speed of the man in still water or speed of the boat. So what will you do? We will add these two equations. So we get 2b, s and s gets cancelled, 11 plus 5 is 16. Therefore, b is nothing but 8 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the correct option is option C. The correct answer is 8 kilometers per hour. The correct answer is 8 kilometers per hour. I hope you've understood this, because if you've not understood this, you might find it a bit difficult to follow the next question. Okay, so the correct answer is 8 kilometers per hour. If you've not understood this, please go through this particular problem once again. Try to do it by yourself. Only then move on to the next question after you've understood how to solve the fifth question. So now we are moving over to the sixth question. Now, the sixth question says a boat covers 24 kilometers upstream and 36 kilometers downstream in 6 hours, whereas it covers 36 kilometers upstream and 24 kilometers downstream in 6.5 hours. What is the speed of the current? Now, if you look at this question is very similar to the previous question. So as I had explained in the previous question, as soon as you read this kind of a question, what should you do? You should be able to write 24 divided by b minus s plus 36 divided by b plus s, because this is downstream, 24 kilometers is upstream. The total time taken to travel downstream and upstream, 24 kilometers upstream and 36 kilometers downstream, is 6 hours. Okay, so let this be your first equation. Coming to the second equation, you should be able to write 36 divided by b minus s, because 36 kilometers upstream plus 24 kilometers downstream. Therefore, 24 divided by b plus s is equal to 6.5, which is nothing but your second equation. So isn't this very similar to your previous question? Of course it is. You only have to find out the speed of the current. In the previous question, a very similar, where we got two such equations and we solved for b, but this question is asking for the value of s. However, for this particular question, I am going to make a small change in the manner how we have to solve this question. See, of course, we'll have to make use of the first and the second equation to solve it. But if you look at the distances traveled, in the first case, it is 24 kilometers upstream and 36 kilometers downstream. In the second scenario, it is 36 kilometers upstream and 24 kilometers downstream. It is nothing but interchanging. They are interchanging the distance which is traveled upstream and downstream in the two cases or the two scenarios over here. whenever you get this kind of a question, in order to make it a little bit simple, that is it, if you don't want to follow the method that I am going to solve it here for the 6th question, you might as well do it by the method as we have done in the 5th question. It is not very different, but just a minor change as to how we can solve this. See, earlier what I would do, we would try to bring any of these values to the same level, equalize it, and then cancel out any one variable, either this or this, and then move on to find out either b plus s or b minus s, and then after that we find out the other value, and then finally determine the value of the speed of the boat, or the speed of the stream over here or from here, whatever it is. But here, since it is interchanging of upstream and downstream distance, instead of subtracting, what I am going to do is I am going to add the two equations. So the first step what I am going to do is I am going to add equations 1 and equation 2. I am going to add equation 1 and I am going to add equation 2. So what do we get here? We have 24b minus s plus 36b plus s is equal to 6, and 36b minus s plus 24b plus s is equal to 6.5. So now I am going to add these two equations. What do I get? 24 plus 36, 6 4 10. So we have 0 here, 1 carry, 1 2 3, 3 plus 3 6. So we have 60 divided by b minus s, plus similarly 36 plus 24, again we have 60 divided by b plus s is equal to 6 plus 6.5 is 12.5. We have 12.5 over here, correct? Now I will take 60 common. I will take 60 common outside. I will write this as 1, sorry, this is b minus s okay, this is b minus s plus 1 by b plus s is equal to, I am going to write 12.5 as 25 divided by 2, 25 divided by 2. 5 5s are 25, 5 12s are 60. So now I am going to bring 12 to the right hand side. I am going to bring 12 to the right hand side. So what do we get? We get 1 divided by b minus s plus 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 5 divided by 12 2s are 24. 12 into 2 is nothing but 24. Let this be equation number 3. Let this be equation number 3. Second step, I am going to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. This is my second step. I am going to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So first I will write down equation 2. Now I'll write down equation 1. Okay, now I am going to subtract. I am going to now subtract 36 by b minus s minus 24 divided by b minus s. The denominator remains the same. Therefore, 36 minus 24 is what? It is nothing but 12 divided by b minus s. Similarly, 24 minus 36 is minus 12 divided by b plus 6 is equal to 6.5 minus 6 is nothing but 0.5. Now what I will do is I will take 12 common outside. I will take 12 common outside. So what do I have? I have 1 divided by 1 minus, sorry, 1 divided by 1 divided by b minus s, minus of 1 divided by b plus s is equal to, I am going to write 0.5 as 1 by 2. Now I will bring 12 to the right hand side over here. So what do we get? We get 1 divided by b minus s minus of 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 1 divided by 2 into 12 is nothing but 24. Let this be equation number 4. Let this be equation number 4. Next step, I am going to add the third equation and the fourth equation. See, I am doing it step by step. I am writing down each and everything, like add 1 and 2, subtract 1 from 2, add 3 and 4. Therefore, you might feel that it is taking a lot of time. Okay, but once you get a hang of it, you should be able to do it much quickly. So let me just erase all of this so that we'll have more space to solve the problem further ahead. Okay, so the third step is what? Adding equation number 3 and equation number 4. So when we add equation number 3 and equation number 4, what do we get? We have 1 divided by b minus s and 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 5 and 24. Here we have 1 divided by b minus s, 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 1 by 24. When we add, what do we get? We get 2 b minus s. This gets cancelled. This is equal to 6 divided by 24. 6 divided by 24. 2 3s are 6. Okay, we'll take b minus s over here. 3 8s are 24 and 8 over here, b minus s over here. So what do we get? We get b minus s is equal to 8. We get b minus s is equal to 8. Fourth step, now I am going to subtract. Now I am going to subtract. I am going to subtract equation 4 from equation 3. I am going to subtract equation 4 from equation 3. So what do we have? 1 divided by b minus s plus 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 5 by 24, and 1 divided by b minus s plus sorry, this is not plus, this is minus. 1 divided by b plus s is equal to 1 by 24. Okay, subtracting, so this becomes plus, this and this gets cancelled. So we have 2 divided by b plus s is equal to 5 minus 1 is 4 divided by 24. So 4 6 24. Okay, I'll take 6 to this side over here and b plus s over here. So what do we get? We get b plus s is equal to 6 into 2 is equal to 12. 6 into 2 is equal to 12. What is the question now asking for? The question is now asking for what is the speed of the current. We now have b minus s is equal to 8 and b plus s is equal to 12. So let this be your fifth equation and let this be your sixth equation. So in order for me to get the value of s, I am going to subtract the fifth equation from the sixth equation. If we wanted the value of b, speed of the boat, then instead of subtracting, I would have added the two equations. But for this particular question, it is b plus s is equal to 12 minus minus b minus s is equal to 8. So here this becomes plus minus 0. 2s is equal to 12 minus 8 4, or s is equal to nothing but 2 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. It is 2 kilometers per hour. It is 2 kilometers per hour. Next question. Now this is a part of your data sufficiency. This is a part of your data sufficiency. Now the question is saying, what is the speed of the boat in still water? We have to find the speed of the boat in still water. So we have to say if we can do this only from the first statement, second statement, or both the statements, or if both statements are not sufficient. Okay, based on these options over here. So the first statement says it takes 2 hours to cover the distance between A and B downstream. Let me just assume the distance between A and B. Let the distance between A and B, or the distance AB, let it be D. Okay, so it takes 2 hours to cover the distance between A and B downstream. So can I say the downstream speed, that is D, is equal to the distance D divided by the time taken to travel downstream? Therefore the downstream speed is equal to nothing but distance divided by time. Okay, so based on this, it is not possible for us to determine. I don't know the value of D. It is not given. I am assuming it to be D. Second statement, it takes 4 hours to cover the distance between A and B upstream. Okay, so then I should be able to write D divided by 4. What is the speed of the boat in still water? Now that is B is equal to nothing but 2 into D plus U, or half into D by 2 plus D by 4, or I can write it as 2 and 4 over here, which is nothing but 3D by 8. Therefore speed of the boat is what? 3D by 8. But D's value is not given. The question is not saying it is D. I am taking it as D. If the question had said let the distance be N or M or X kilometers, then I would have said it is some value with respect to the question. But here it is not possible to determine what the speed of the boat based on the information which is given in the question. Therefore, we cannot determine the speed of the boat even by making use of the information which is contained in both statement 1 and statement 2. Therefore, the correct option is option D. Both 1 and 2 are not sufficient. Let us do one more question of data sufficiency over here. Now the question says, what is the speed of the stream? The first statement is saying the ratio of the speed upstream to downstream of a boat is 2:3. So upstream speed by downstream speed is nothing but 2 by 3. This is the ratio. Then let me assume that then the speeds upstream and downstream speed itself be 2n and 3n. Now I don't know the exact value, but I'm saying let the upstream speed be 2n and the downstream speed be 3n. Okay, it is 2n and 3n. So therefore we are cancelling n and n, and hence we get the ratio of upstream and downstream speed to be 2:3. Therefore upstream speed is 2n kilometers per hour, downstream speed is 3n kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is based on our assumption. So but however, from this first statement it is not possible for us to determine, obviously. So let us move on to the second statement. If it is possible only from the second statement, let us just look into it. So second statement says the distance traveled upstream in 2 hours by the boat is more than the distance traveled by it downstream in 1 hour by 4 kilometers. So the question is saying the distance traveled upstream in 2 hours. Okay, so the distance traveled upstream in 2 hours by the boat is more than the distance traveled by it downstream in 1 hour by 4 kilometers. By 4 kilometers, meaning what? The distance traveled upstream in 2 hours is equal to the distance traveled downstream plus 4 kilometers. The distance traveled upstream in 2 hours is equal to distance traveled downstream plus 4 kilometers, because in 2 hours by the boat is more than the distance traveled by it downstream in 1 hour by 4 kilometers. However, what is the downstream distance? Nothing but speed into time. Nothing but speed into time. What is the upstream speed? It is u into 2 hours. What is u into 2 hours? 2n into 2. This is nothing but 4n. Similarly, what is the downstream distance? Nothing but the downstream speed into 1r into 1. What is d? Nothing but 3n. Then can I write here, substituting, 4n is equal to 3n plus 4. Therefore, I bring 3n to the left hand side. 4n minus 3n is n. Nothing but n is equal to 4 kilometers per hour. Sorry, yeah, 4 kilometers. Sorry, not 4 kilometers per hour. The value of n is equal to 4. If the value of n is equal to 4, what is u now? U is nothing but 2 into 4. 4 2s are 8 kilometers per hour. What is the downstream speed? D is equal to 3 into n, that is 3 into 4 is equal to 12 kilometers per hour. What is the question asking for? Speed of the stream. What is speed of the stream? Half the difference between the downstream speed and the upstream speed. It's nothing but half into 12 minus 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is nothing but 2 kilometers per hour. Therefore, speed of the stream is what? It is 2 kilometers per hour. Were we able to determine the speed of the stream? Yes. How? By making use of the information contained in both statements 1 and 2. Therefore, the correct option is option C. So with this session, we will be completing and we will be concluding the discussion on boats and streams. I hope you had sufficient exposure to different kinds of problems that you might get under this concept of boats and streams. Also, if some of you are finding it difficult with respect to the volume, I would request you to please make use of headphones or earphones with the help of which the the voice should be more audible, instead of making use of your speakers on your phone, or else make use of your laptop. On laptop you'll have better volume because of the speakers, which will have more power. So if you're using your smartphone, please do make use of earphones or headphones, or else you can please do make use of your laptops or your computers with other speakers. Okay, so here there are 3 practice questions, the answers for which will be posted in the comment section. If you still have any doubt, please do write to us in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do follow us for more such videos.